outside. No telling what we might find. Birds calling, worms crawling, leaves falling down from above. Oh, I plant my feet on the ground. I keep my head in the clouds. I let my feelings out loud. I hear joy calling, fear crawling, tears falling down out of love.
Welcome, friends. Happy Mapping Monday. I'm so glad you're here. Let's start out by checking in on our zones today. You may remember our zones of regulation are blue, green, yellow, and red. And if you are unsure what zone you're in, that's okay. I'll remind you of the different zones and what they mean, and then you can think of the zone that you're in right now. The red zone means you are feeling really upset, angry, frustrated, out of control almost. Maybe you're not being very kind or very safe or very reasonable with your body. The yellow zone means you are feeling a little bit worried or unsure, maybe also really distracted, really just not feeling yourself. The green zone means you're feeling really peaceful. Your body's in control, you can make safe and kind choices, you know that you feel just like you. And the blue zone means that you're moving slowly or feeling tired or a little extra sad or lonely today. So take a moment and think about your zone. I'll think about mine too. Do you know what zone you're in? Awesome. I'm feeling in the green zone, and I'm challenging myself to pick a feeling from my feelings chart that describes why I'm in the green zone. I want to challenge you to do the same. I am feeling loved. I'm feeling loved because last week was my first set of episodes, and you, friends, were so kind and so encouraging, as were all of your grown-ups. So I'm feeling really loved and really special. So thanks. Now it is time for our date exercise. So take a peek at the date with me. 9/13/21. Remember, another way to say that is September 13th, 2021. And I want us to check in with Fig before we get started. Fig is showing us one of the exercises that we will do. Any guesses? What do you think they are doing? Well, I guess we'll find out. Let's start with 9 moves today. This is one of my favorite ways to move. It's a little bit silly, and it might make you a little bit dizzy. So if you don't like getting dizzy, you do not have to do this move with me. But if you'd like to give it a try, you can stand up. And we are going to do 9 spins. If you do not want to stand up and spin, that's okay. You can also stay seated and spin your finger or spin your head if you'd like. We're going to do 9 spins, however you'd like to do them, however is comfortable for you. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, oh boy, dizzy already. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe your head is spinning just like mine. You can have a seat and settle in. Now let's check back with Fig and see what we're going to do 13. Oh, I see that. Okay, they said that they are putting their elbow to their knee, but they're using their opposite elbow opposite knee. So I'm going to take my right elbow, then I'm going to touch it to my left knee, then I'm going to switch. And I really like this exercise, thanks Big, because you can do it sitting or standing, whatever's more comfortable for you. I'm going to do it sitting. We're going to count to 13 together. Are you ready? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nice work. Okay, now we have 21 things to do. Oh my, 21 things. How about we stand up and do 21 toe touches? I really like this because it helps me stretch my body a bit. It really feels nice on my back. You can do this sitting as well if that's more comfortable for you. Let's go ahead, stand up, reach our arms down, and do 21 toe touches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Fantastic work. Now, if you're like me and feeling a little dizzy, or your heart is beating quickly, or maybe your body is even feeling warm, you might want to take some deep breaths. I'm going to listen for a bell, and as I hear it ding, that's when I know to breathe in big, and then slowly let out. Let's do 3 breaths to cool down. Listen. Fantastic. I hope you're feeling settled and ready for our next step. All right, friends, let's take a peek at our message in my journal today. Make sure you scooch in nice and close so you can see it really well. Scooch! It says, "Dear stupendous subscribers, last week I mentioned that I live in Pittsburgh, PA, Pennsylvania. And while that's where I am now, it's not where I was born. I was actually born in a different state called New York. Do you know what state or country you were born in? Another interesting thing to know is what state or country your grown-ups were born in, and your great grown-ups. Let's take a trip around the world and peek at some possible places. Love, Mrs. A." Do you see any alliterations in our message today? Remember, an alliteration is when there are words next to each other or really close by that start with the same letter or sound. Why don't you start up at the top? There are some big words here, but I see they both start with S. Stupendous subscribers. Go ahead and look at the rest of this message and see if you can find any more awesome alliterations. Now, I'm going to ask you to pretend that we are about to get on an airplane. And this airplane goes super speed because we're going to fly around the world and visit a ton of different countries. We're not going to visit all of the countries because there are over 190 countries in our world. But we will stop on each continent, except one of them. We won't stop in Antarctica. We will stop at 6 of the 7 continents, I should say. So please buckle up and hold on tight because we are about to take off. first stop is the continent of Africa. And Africa has a ton of countries in it. Countries like Egypt, countries like Morocco, countries like South Africa and Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire, and so many more. There are people in each of those countries, and each country has its own flag or image to represent it. And I really love looking at flags because they are all made up of different shapes and colors, just like us. Do you know any countries in Africa? Okay, well, make sure you're buckled up still and holding on because we are going to visit our next stop. Our next continent is the continent of Asia. There are also many countries in this continent. We have India, we have China, we have Russia, we have Japan, we have so many more. And just like in Africa, each country in Asia has its own flag that represents its country. Do you know any countries in Asia? All right, get ready for our next stop. Going south a bit to Australia. Australia and New Zealand are countries in the Pacific Ocean, and they have their own flags as well. All right, now we're going to travel a little bit further around our world, and we are going to stop in South America. South America is made up of many countries, countries like Brazil, countries like Argentina and Peru, and in each of those countries there are beautiful places and beautiful flags that represent them as well. Do you know any countries in South America? Moving up a bit to North America. North America is where the United States is where Canada is, many other places, each with their own flag. We are actually going back across the ocean, but this time we're going to go across the Atlantic Ocean, and we are going to visit Europe. Europe has countries like Spain and England and France and many others. And in Europe, there are lots of people, and they speak lots of languages, and again, there are lots of different flags. I wanted to take you on this little journey because knowing where you're from, knowing where your family is from, knowing where their family is from, is a really great way for us to get to know ourselves a little bit better. When we know about our family and our family's family, we know about our history. And our history can help us learn and understand our traditions, things that we like to do regularly, and our culture, things that make up who we are. We'll talk more about culture in some future episodes. But right now, I want us to check out this book that I have that I really, really enjoy because it teaches us a little bit more about ourselves and how the countries we're from and the countries our families are from actually help make us who we are. The book we're going to take a peek at today is called All the Colors We Are. And it's the story of how we got our skin color. This book is also written in Spanish, which is pretty cool. Just like many people that speak more than one language, this book is written in more than one language. So I really enjoy that. It's written by Katie Kissinger, and the photographs are by Chris Bonhoff. And it says photographs because everything in this book is a real picture. There aren't a bunch of drawings or illustrations like in some other books. We're just going to take a peek at a few pages here, and I think it's a really great book to help us understand ourselves a bit better. All the colors we are. Todos los colores de nuestra piel. First page I'd like us to peek at says, melanin is tiny grains of coloring in our skin. We can't see the tiny melanin grains, but we all have melanin in our skin. If you have dark skin, the melanin in your body is very active. If you have light skin, the melanin in your body is not very busy. I'm looking at my skin, it looks a little darker than this person's skin and a little lighter than this person's skin. I guess my melanin is kind of active. Not very active, but not very inactive either. If your ancestors, or your family and your family's family, if your ancestors from a long time ago lived in a place where there was a lot of sunshine and heat, they probably had dark skin. That's really interesting. So if we think about our family and their family before, it might help us understand more about ourselves and our own body. The skin color we are born with comes from our parents and from our ancestors and where they lived long ago. Do you think your ancestors came from a very warm, sunny place or a cool place with less sunshine? Oh, I see a map here. Let's zoom in a bit. On this map are the 7 continents we just visited. Oh, cool, okay. So it looks like if your family came from North America, especially northern North America, you might have lighter skin. But if your family came from Central or South America, it might be a little bit darker. Traveling over into Europe here, looks a little bit lighter. Asia, there's quite a mix here. Down to Africa, and then Australia. That is so fascinating. See if you can find the country or the places where your family is from. See if it's true for you. Well, friends, I would definitely recommend that you check out this book from your library or your local bookstore to learn more about all the colors we are. It's time for our mindful moment. And today I want us to use our listening senses. I'm going to ask you to listen for any mechanical sounds that may be around you. Mechanical means something that's coming from a machine. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes or look down, whatever feels comfortable. And I want you to listen for any mechanical sounds or any machine sounds. Think, do they make sounds in a pattern? What do you think is making that sound? Let's do it together for 1 minute. That was some careful listening. I'm glad you gave that a try, but I imagine it was difficult to listen for so long, so thanks for giving it a shot. What kind of mechanical sounds did you hear? Call them out, I'm really curious. An air conditioner, a car, a fan, a phone, a microwave. All of those are really fascinating mechanical sounds. They all sound different. Thanks for taking that mindful moment with me. Before you go, I am wondering if you noticed what I have next to me. Here is the game I was talking about last week. It's called Yugo. And this is the yoga game that I mentioned that I am fortunate enough to share with you all. I actually have 2 copies to share with you. And I love this interactive card game because it's really great for everyone to play, grown-ups and kids alike. And it helps teach us a bit about yoga and it helps us work together or collaborate or cooperate. And we can play this game with a number of people, usually like 5 to 10 people is a good group. And you can do it a couple different ways. But the way I like best is to stack all the cards up and take turns pulling a card from your hand and passing it to your neighbor and asking them to start off by doing that pose. We'll get another peek at this game later in the week, but if you would like to enter to win this game and this cute sticker, then please make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel and let your grown-ups know that they need to visit my Instagram page and follow along there, where I'll be announcing the winner. Friends, thank you so much for joining me today. It was really wonderful to spend my morning with you. I hope you enjoyed it too. See you next time.